A $20 box fan, and 4 furnace filters from Walmart. That's it. The EPA tested this thing in a 3,000 cubic foot chamber, and it removed 97% of airborne particles in 30 minutes. A $300 Dyson couldn't match it. If that sounds too simple, I thought so too. Let's find out. Here's the thing most people don't realize. The air inside your house is 2 to 5 times dirtier than the air outside. Dust, pet dander, pollen, wildfire smoke, whatever your neighbor's cooking, it all stays trapped because modern homes are sealed tight for energy efficiency. Good for your electric bill, bad for your lungs. So you go online, and every purifier worth looking at costs $200 to $400. The Dyson, the Koei, the Levoit, they all use HEPA filters, they all look nice on a shelf, and they all quietly remind you that clean air is a luxury item. My neighbor Dale bought a $300 Honeywell last summer during the wildfire smoke. Used it for 2 weeks. It's been sitting in his garage since October. That's $150 a week for clean air, if you do the math that way. And you should. But in 2020, an air quality engineer named Richard Corsi posted an idea online. Tape 4 furnace filters to a box fan. That's the whole concept. A CEO at a filter company named Jim Rosenthal built the first one. They called it the Corsi-Rosenthal box, and it started showing up in classrooms, offices, and living rooms across the country. For about 60 bucks, now here's what most people get wrong when they hear about this, and it's the same mistake I almost made. They grab the cheapest filters they can find. MERV 8, maybe MERV 11. They're half the price of a MERV 13, and the package looks the same. Reasonable thinking, wrong result. MERV is a rating for how small a particle the filter can catch. MERV 8 stops the big stuff. Dust bunnies, dog hair, MERV 11 gets a little finer. But wildfire smoke particles, the ones that actually get into your bloodstream, those average about 0.3 microns. You need MERV 13 to catch 50% of those on each pass. Drop to MERV 11, and the EPA measured a 43% drop in performance. Same fan, same tape, same effort, 43% less clean air because you saved $12 on filters. The other mistake is the fan direction. I've seen people tape the fan facing down into the box, blowing air into the filters. Backwards. The fan goes on top, blowing up and out. It pulls dirty room air in through all 4 filter walls and pushes clean air out the top. Arrows on the filters point inward toward the center of the box. One guy on YouTube with 200,000 views got this wrong and had to pin a correction in his description. It's the most common error, and it guts your airflow. All right, let's build it. I went to Walmart. One Lasco 20-inch box fan, $24. One 4-pack of Filtrate MERV 13 filters, 20 by 20 by 1 inch, $48 for the generic brand. One roll of Gorilla duct tape, $6. Total out the door, $78. I also grabbed a piece of cardboard from the fan's box. Free. Step 1. I stood the 4 filters on their edges to form a cube. Every filter has a little arrow printed on the frame. All 4 arrows point inward. That's the direction air flows. Pleats go vertical. Step 2. I taped the 4 vertical corners from top to bottom. Outside seams only. I used long strips and pressed them flat. Gaps here are the #1 performance killer. If air can sneak through an untaped corner, it will, and it won't be filtered. Step 3. I cut a square of cardboard to seal the bottom of the cube, taped it down on all 4 edges. Step 4. I set the box fan on top. The side that blows air goes facing up, away from the box. I taped the fan to the top edges of the filter cube all the way around. No gaps. Step 5. This is the one most people skip. I cut another piece of cardboard the same size as the fan, then cut a circle in the middle the size of the fan blades. Taped it over the front of the fan as a shroud. This blocks air from recirculating around the edges of the blades. The EPA found a shroud adds about 40% more clean air output. 40% from a piece of cardboard. Took 90 seconds. Total build time 22 minutes. No tools except scissors. I plugged it in. On low, there's a steady hum. Noticeable but fine for a living room. On high, all right, I measured 61 decibels. That's louder than a conversation. You won't sleep next to this thing on high. On low, it's workable, about 53 decibels. I held a tissue against each filter panel. Strong, even suction on all 4 sides. No dead spots. That means the seals are good. Now for the real question. I don't have a 3,000 cubic foot EPA test chamber in my garage. What I do have is a $14 air quality monitor from Amazon and a room that gets dusty every time I open the garage door. Baseline PM 2.5 reading with the garage door cracked, 38 micrograms per cubic meter. That's in the unhealthy for sensitive groups range. I turned on the box. 20 minutes later, 9 micrograms. 30 minutes, 4. That's a 76% drop in 20 minutes and an 89% drop in 30 on a $60 fan made of tape and cardboard. I ran it again the next day just to make sure. Different starting conditions, windows open this time. Baseline, 26. After 30 minutes, 5. Consistent. One thing I noticed, by day 3, the filters closest to my garage door were already showing a visible gray tint. They're catching real particulates. You can see it. Here are the numbers side by side. A Honeywell HPA 300 costs about $280 and delivers roughly 300 CFM of clean air. This box, the Corsi Rosenthal build, delivers 600 or more according to UC Davis testing. Twice the airflow, 1/4 the price. The ongoing cost is filters. A 4-pack of MERV 13 runs $48 to $88 depending on brand, and you replace them every 3 to 6 months. A commercial Purifier's replacement HEPA cartridge runs $40 to $80 on the same schedule, so operating costs are roughly equal. Where the commercial unit wins. It's quieter, it's smaller, it looks like furniture instead of a science project. Where the box wins, raw cleaning power per dollar. It's not close. Two honest limitations. It won't remove gases, odors, or volatile chemicals. It catches particles only. And it draws about 75 watts on high. Running it 24/7 costs roughly $50 a year in electricity, comparable to a commercial unit. One more thing worth knowing. The EPA, the CDC, and UL all tested this design. UL ran fire safety tests with blocked airflow and smoke-loaded filters for 7 hours straight. No ignition in any scenario. But use a fan made after 2012. Newer fans have thermal cutoffs. Older ones don't. Walter's verdict, 4 wrenches out of 5. It works. The science is real. The EPA confirmed it. The numbers hold up in my garage with a $14 monitor, just like they did in a university lab. For $60 to $80, you get more clean air per minute than a machine costing $300. It lost a wrench for noise and for looks. You can't put this thing in a living room and call it decor. It sounds like a window unit on high. On low, it's fine. During wildfire season, allergy season, or any time the air quality outside goes sideways, this is the best $60 you'll spend. One thing you can do today, go to Walmart, buy 4 MERV 13 filters and a Lasco box fan, and build this in 20 minutes. That's it. 25 years fixing things, and I've never seen a better ratio of money spent to problem solved. If this saved you a few bucks, you know what to do. What should I test next? Drop it below.